Good morning everyone. Welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis of Shankar Academy. Today we are going to discuss the current affairs of 11th of November 2025. Before going into the topics, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and like the video and also comment if you have any doubts. And also we will be giving you a mains question. Do write it and submit it in the comment section. We will give you our feedbacks. And also share this video to your friends. What are the topics of discussion today? The first topic we will be discussing will be about exercise Malabar of 2025. We will see what is this exercise about, what are the countries participating in this exercise, and what is the prelims question regarding that. And next is about Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority, how this authority will help empower self-help groups and also help them to reach towards the goal of Vikshit Bharat. Next, we will study about soil's organic carbon content and what is the recent ICAR study. Next is regarding chronic disease, chronic kidney disease, and what is chronic kidney disease, what are the causes, impacts, and what are the treatments regarding that. And finally, the last section of today's discussion would be Prelims Focus, the topic which specifically focuses on preliminary examination. The first topic we are going to discuss today is about exercise Malabar 2025, and this is happening in an island of United States in the Northern Pacific. So, the island is called as Guam and it is in the Northern Pacific. So, what is this exercise about? We will discuss. So, for this particular exercise Malabar, INS Sahyadri has been participating in this. So, the exercise aims to strengthen naval coordination, interoperability and regional security cooperation. So, it is an indigenously built guided missile stealth frigate. So, indigenously built, so under the Atmanirbhar Bharat program, in terms of defense manufacturing, INS Sahyadri is indigenously built. And also you should know that it is a stealth frigate. So, what is stealth? So, we will discuss what is the stealth technology also. Now, talking about exercise Malabar. So, it is an annual multilateral naval exercise. So, it takes place every year, and multilateral, which means different countries participating in this. If it is two countries involved, it would be bilateral. Here we can see the quad countries are participating: India, United States, Japan and Australia. So, since 4 countries are participating, it is a multilateral and specific to naval exercises, Navy participating in this. So, what are the focuses here? Joint fleet operation. So, at the time of crisis, how these 4 Navy would combine and operate. Next is anti-submarine warfare. So, what is anti-submarine warfare? Few days before we discussed what are the technologies involved in anti-submarine warfare. You please go and refer that. Maritime surveillance and then gunnery and air defense drills. They will actually do a exercise, which means they practice what would be done. That is what is drill. And next is naval aviation operations. So, from water to air, what kind of attacks can be done. We use fighter jets and that would land on this frigate, and that can be used in terms of air defense also. So, what are the structure regarding how this exercise is conducted? One is harbor phase. So, here what happens? Planning, communications, coordination, crew interaction, logistics. So, what happens? This will take place in the harbor. This phase of exercise would take place in the harbor. Next is sea phase. So, they will go to the sea and there they will practice certain drills at the time of war, what is done, how it is done, what is the sequence, standard operating procedures, all these would be practiced. So, now discussing about INS Sahyadri. So, it is a Shivalik class stealth frigate. So, stealth is a technology which generally we see it in movies, where they show as if it disappears, like it is not visible to the eyes, but it does not work that way. Stealth is actually where your radar signature would be less, trying to achieve it to be almost 0, but radar signature would be lesser. So what happens is that whenever you are trying to go through any area, this radar is used to sense if there is any form of intrusion. In this situation, what happens generally is that, so there will be a transmitter. How does radar work is, so there will be a transmitter. It continuously sends radio waves, and whatever is passing on, so let's take there is an object passing on, so this will go hit and come back. So this is a transmitted signal, this is a reflected signal, and there will be a receiver here, and the receiver will sense the reflected signal. Some calculations are done, and now we will understand what is the size, what is the velocity it is moving, all these details would be gathered. So how does stealth work? Stealth work in a way where it will try to reduce the reflected signals by absorbing the signals without allowing them to get reflected. What happens, since there is no reflected signals, the radar would assume there is no movement there. This is how stealth mode functions. So here Shivalik class stealth frigate, so it has the stealth technology, and who built it? We saw it is indigenously built, and Masagowan Dock Shipbuilders Limited in Mumbai, they have built this ship. So stealth, reduced radar signature, surface, air and underwater combat compatibility. Surface, on the water surface, air and also underwater, that is submarine. Submarine warfare, anti-submarine warfare. So integrated with guided missiles and modern sensors. So guided missiles are basically that has rockets attached to the missile. So it will be programmed, the destination will be programmed and the missile will be taken. So it represents India's indigenous warship building capability. So that way we are showcasing our indigenous capability in terms of defense manufacturing. So what is this place, Guam? So it is US island territory in the Western Pacific Ocean. And what is the strategic significance is that it hosts major US naval and air force bases, because Northern Pacific, let's say, so Northern Pacific, the region between America or North America, and also here this side you have access to Europe and Northern Asia, and on the north you have Arctic. So here what happens, this area is called as Northern Pacific. So it acts as a key Indo-Pacific security hub, and it is a part of Micronesia region. So this question which is similar to this particular topic in 2023, they asked about exercise Mitra Shakti 2023, which of the following are correct. This was a joint military exercise between India and Bangladesh. Next is, it commenced in Aundh, Pune. Joint response during counter-terrorism operations was a goal of this operation, and Indian Air Force was a part of this exercise. So here what is the answer is 2, 3 and 4 is the right answer, because this is between India and Sri Lanka, and not Bangladesh, it's India and Sri Lanka. So here the answer is 2, 3 and 4, since the first statement is not correct. The next topic we are going to discuss is about Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority, and what they are doing to empower self-help groups, and through empowering self-help groups, how it is going to help women take a major step in terms of Viksit Bharat aim. We will discuss that. So Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority organizes Investor Education and Protection Workshop for rural women self-help groups. So women are true strength of Viksit Bharat and must be financially aware, digitally skilled and investment ready. This is the statement given by CEO of IEPFA. So we will see what is this workshop about and how it is going to help women. So IEPFA under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has organized an investor education and protection workshop for rural self-help group women in Haryana, Karnal, Haryana. So the theme is Viksit Bharat ke Path par Saksham Nari. So focus on women's financial empowerment. This is very important, because women who is constituting almost 50% of India's population, if they are empowered financially, will definitely increase the GDP growth and also the economic development. In that case, what happened here is that the organization under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is organizing a workshop to give an idea about investment, digital literacy for self-help groups, specifically women self-help groups. So what is the aim of this workshop? This will enhance financial literacy and safe investment practices among rural women. See, there is a notion that saving is very important. But when we consider inflation coming into picture, saving is actually not profitable, but it will lead to loss. Because when we just save money without investing, after few days, when we don't take time into account, the value of money would depreciate because of inflation. So, the smartest way of saving money or the smartest way of having a security in terms of financial aspect is investment. So, this particular workshop will help self-help groups, rural women to understand this. It will promote digital financial awareness, fraud prevention, systematic savings habits and women-led economic empowerment. So, what are the key collaborating agencies? This is very important. So, first is IEPFA, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and they will create investors awareness and grievance redressal. Next is NCAER, so they will help in terms of research and behavioral insights. Next is SEBI, so SEBI will contribute capital market and regulatory awareness. And next is AMFI, so this is regarding mutual funds. So they will help in terms of mutual fund education. Along with this, Haryana State Rural Livelihood Mission, so this will help in terms of self-help group outreach and livelihood mobilization. So self-help group is a very important topic. This we will be getting in terms of mains also. So self-help group actually helped in terms of solving the issue of informal credit. So there is a lesson called as Money and Credit in 10th standard, where they would have spoken about how self-help groups solved the issue of informal credit and helped poor people get access to formal credit. So formal credit is basically from the banks or any registered institutions under the RBI, and it is safe form of credit, safe form of loan. But one major condition is collateral is must. So you don't have a collateral, you can't get access to formal credit. But the poor people who are more in need of credit, because they don't have a collateral, they will be going to informal credit. But informal credit being risky and also having higher form of interest rates, they fall into debt trap. So this self-help group, this concept of self-help group and how banks are giving loans to self-help group without collateral is actually solving this issue of informal credit. How? So here what happens, instead of getting a collateral, the physical collateral as such, the entire group takes responsibility of paying the loan back. Even if one person is getting the loan from the bank, being a member of self-help group, the entire group becomes responsible for paying the loan back. So even without collateral, the banks give loans to the self-help group. So this is why self-help group is very, very important in terms of India's economic development. It is a form of inclusion. So now we'll discuss what are the key highlights about this workshop. So the CEO has emphasized women must be financially aware, digitally skilled and investment ready. So flagship initiative explained here, Niveshak Didi. So here women trainers educating other women, very, very important. Next is Niveshak Shivir, local level financial literacy camps. So what is IEPFA? So this is under Ministry of Corporate Affairs and it's a statutory body because it is established under the Companies Act of 2013. And primary functions, it administers the Investor Education and Protection Fund and it refunds unclaimed amounts such as dividends, mature deposits, etc. Also debentures, shares transfers to IUPF, etc. Conducts financial literacy programs nationwide and provides claim facility via IEPFA form and online search system. So even claim facility like unclaimed deposits, debentures, all these things can be claimed through this forum. An additional fact, self-help group under National Rural Livelihood Mission enabling women's collective savings and credit access. So this is what I told you. You can see this in 10th standard NCERT in economics, money and credit. They would have beautifully discussed about how self-help group helps poor people getting access to formal credit. So we'll discuss a prelims practice question regarding this. Consider the following statement regarding the Investor Education Protection Fund Authority. So IEPFA is responsible for refunding unclaimed dividends and transferred shares to the rightful investors. IEPFA functions under Ministry of Finance as part of Financial Market Investor Protection Mechanism. So what is the right answer for this? One only is the right answer. IEPFA is responsible for refunding unclaimed dividends, that is right, but we just saw it functions under Ministry of Corporate Affairs and not Ministry of Finance. So one only is the right answer, second statement is not correct. The next topic we are going to discuss about is soil organic carbon decline in India, and this is the study done by Indian Council for Agricultural Research. So climate change, imbalance in fertilizer use is impacting soil's organic carbon. So what is this soil's organic carbon? What is it related to? So if the soil's organic carbon is better, which means that the microbial activities are better. If the soil's organic carbon is lesser, the microbial activities are lesser. So what happens? This will affect the productivity of the soil. So conducted by ICAR, what is a key finding is that Indian Institute of Soil Science, Bhopal, based on approximately 2.54 lakh soil samples from 620 districts and 29 states, they have found out that unscientific and imbalanced fertilizer use and climate change. So what is the fertilizers they are talking about here? Specifically excessive usage of urea and phosphorus, and also the rising temperature because of climate change is reducing the soil organic carbon. So it is linked directly to the soil health. So if there is low SOC, high micronutrient deficiency takes place. So since micronutrient deficiency will lead to reduced productivity, this is a very big concern. And if it is having higher soil organic carbon, there is a better soil nutrient availability. So what are the environmental and geographical correlations? So this SOC increases with elevation, that is higher in terms of hilly regions and comparatively lesser in the plains. And also it is negatively correlated with temperature, which means low SOC in Rajasthan and Telangana due to high temperature, which is SOC is inversely proportional to temperature, and SOC is directly proportional to altitude. And also rainfall. Rainfall has a comparatively lesser direct influence on temperature and elevation. So role of cropping system also plays a role here. Rice based and pulse based system has higher SOC because waterlogged condition will lead to high microbial activity, so the SOC would be better. Also where nitrogen rich conditions are there, SOC is better. But where wheat and coarse grain dominant areas show lower SOC. So regions with imbalanced fertilizer use, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP. See, this you should keep it in mind, this is where the green revolution took place. So intensive cultivation is a very important issue here. So what happens? Usage of chemical inputs leading to reduction in the SOC. So what are the three important concepts of green revolution? Is that high yield variety seeds, and then intensive irrigation and chemical inputs. These are the three major components of green revolution. So here what happens is that this areas where imbalanced fertilizer use and intensive irrigation takes place, there is a decline in SOC. But the same, the counterparts where balanced nutrient application is done, there is a relatively better SOC present. So climate change link, so rising temperature, just now we said is inversely proportional. So rising temperature leads to decline in the soil organic carbon. So this will lead to worsening of soil fertility, lead to land degradation and also heat reflection because increases the greenhouse effect. That is a major issue. So policy recommendations, what are the scientists recommending? Promote organic carbon sequestration, which is where the soil has less than 0.25 percentage of SOC. Introduce carbon credit incentives for farmers also. Next is encourage crop diversification. So crop diversification like either going for either avoiding multi-cropping cycles, cropping cycles instead of going for monocropping. So all these things will help. Permanent crop cover and plantation expansion. Support balanced fertilizer use and improved irrigation practices instead of intensive irrigation, going for more efficient, water efficient form of irrigation methods. Now we will discuss about ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. It is an autonomous body under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, because ICAR helps in terms of they research in terms of increasing the efficiency of agriculture, and they also coordinate agricultural education and research across India, headquarters New Delhi. So Food and Agricultural Organization, it is UN specialized agency headquartered in Rome, works on global food security, agriculture and natural resource sustainability. Sustainability, that is very important. Published early warnings on soil carbon decline globally. So we will discuss a prelims question regarding it. Soil organic carbon in India. Regions with higher elevation generally show higher levels of soil organic carbon compared to lowland. Soil organic carbon content decreases with rising temperature due to faster decomposition and oxidation. Both the answers are right because we just wrote SOC is directly proportional to altitude and SOC is inversely proportional to the temperature. So in this case both the statements are correct. Both 1 and 2 is the right answer. The next topic we are going to discuss is chronic kidney disease. So the global study is estimating that India had the second highest chronic kidney disease cases in 2023 after China. So we will discuss what are the causes, what are the impacts and what has to be done in this particular discussion. Chronic kidney disease. So it is a long term. The term chronic means a long term. Acute is sudden or short term. So it is a long term condition where the kidneys are damaged and cannot filter blood, because kidney is a part of excretory system. It filters blood for salts and other chemicals that has to be excreted out as urine. So this damage happens slowly over time, typically lasting 3 months or more. So at this situation, when it is not possible for the kidney to filter, we have to go for a treatment mechanism called as dialysis. Diabetes, what are the causes? First is diabetes. High blood sugar levels can damage the tiny filtering units in the kidneys. We call it as nephrons. So it can damage the tiny filtering units in the kidneys. High blood pressure, hypertension also can cause weakening of the walls of the blood vessels, small blood vessels in the kidneys. Next is glomerulonephritis. So inflammation of kidneys filtering units called as glomeruli. So that filtering units, every unit in the kidney is called as glomeruli, and that is inflamed because of some reason. Next is polycystic kidney disease. It is an inherited condition, that is a genetic condition where cysts grow inside the kidney. Cysts are like form of growth, calcified growth inside certain organs, and cysts can grow inside the kidneys. Next is global burden. So it is prevalent. Almost 788 million adults in 2023 have chronic kidney disease, and over double this particular number 788 is doubled compared to 1990. So in 2 decades, in terms of 3 decades, we are seeing that almost double the number of cases in terms of chronic kidney disease. And also compared to mortality and disability, it is the 9th leading cause of death globally in 2023. And also it caused almost 1.5 million deaths worldwide. And 12th in disability adjusted life years, highlighting its major public health impact, either death. Sometimes the impact lasts longer. So it might damage other parts of the body also because it is a major filtering mechanism. High burden countries and regions include highest case in China 152 million, and in India it is 138 million in 2023, the second highest. Highest prevalence we can see in North Africa and Middle East, South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. So here I would like to see a connection between the availability of water. So in terms of these regions, North Africa and Middle East, we can see water scarcity, the desert regions. And also Sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia. In South Asia, it is because of lifestyle. The major cause of this is lifestyle in South Asia. So this you can see North Africa, Sub-Saharan region, East, Middle Eastern nations where water scarcity is present. Maybe that is also the high temperature, that is also might be the cause of dehydration leading to kidney failures. Connection to heart health, very important, because impaired kidney function accounts for almost 12% of all cardiovascular diseases around the world in 2023. A small connection I would say here, if kidneys are not functioning properly, calcium or other salt filtration doesn't happen well. In this case, what happens is that the calcified plaques present inside the blood vessel are one of the major cause of heart diseases. It ranked as the 7th leading cause for heart-related mortality, ahead of both diabetes and obesity. Even it is more contributing even before diabetes and obesity. Recommendations: early intervention, because prevention is very, very important, and also at the stage, earlier stage, treatment is more effective. Next is equitable care. Dialysis is very costly. Diagnosis and then affordable treatment. Dialysis, because the machine itself is very costly, the treatment is very costly. So we have to provide equitable care. We have to provide treatment and prevention access globally. And systemic change, focus on preventing progression as access to dialysis and transplants remains limited, because transplantation is a very major issue, because kidney transplantation has certain regulation issues also. So generally 2 kidneys are present and one person with 1 kidney can actually lead a healthy life. So even a person who is alive can donate a kidney, but this when becomes commercialized creates so much issues, so much legal issues with respect to this. So yes, transplantation remains limited. Next is global priority. World Health Organization has included this in goal to cut early non-communicable diseases death by 1/3 within 2030. Government measures, we have Ayushman Bharat scheme, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. This provides 5 lakh per family per year for secondary and tertiary care. It covers dialysis and kidney transplants for 55 crore. Next is Pradhan Mantri National Dialysis Program. This offers free dialysis services to below poverty line family at district hospitals under the National Health Mission. This is also very important. See, the thing is, primary health centers cannot have dialysis machine. District hospitals, mostly the secondary and tertiary care only can have dialysis machines. That also makes it very tough. We have to take the patient to those hospitals where the machines are present. Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi provides one-time financial aid to below poverty line patients suffering from end-stage kidney failure. National Program for Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases. This focuses on preventing and managing non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes, etc. Next is Central Government Health Scheme. This offers comprehensive kidney care, including dialysis, transplant expenses, etc. So we have to discuss a mains practice question. Chronic kidney disease is emerging as a major public health challenge in India, fueled by lifestyle risk, inadequate screening and unequal access to treatment. Discuss the key findings of recent global studies on CKD prevalence in India and critically analyze the policy measures needed to address growing burden. So now talking about this chronic kidney disease, you have to talk about what is chronic kidney disease, talk about what are the major public health challenge in India in all the spheres, talking about the lifestyle, access, financial aspects, everything, and even the governance aspect. Then talk about what is the key finding that India stands second in terms of more cases in the world, and then talk about what are the policy measures. Coming to the final section of today's discussion, Prelims Focus. The first topic is National Geo Platform. This is under the Ministry of Science and Technology. This is to build an integrated collaborative ecosystem for geospatial data dissemination, provide a scalable system for standardizing, sharing and managing foundational data sets. So here geospatial data integration and dissemination systems. The geospatial data can be used for various purposes, starting from identification of land records, or talking about who owns which place, even in terms of navigation purposes. So geospatial data is very important. So integrated geospatial application, spatial data registry for metadata management. Next is State of Food and Agricultural Report. So it is released by Food and Agricultural Organization, a very important organization under United Nations. Land degradation crisis. Recently, State of Food and Agriculture Report speaks about how 1.7 billion people will be affected because of land degradation crisis. It threatens global food security and ecosystems. And what is the major cause? They state that agricultural expansion is a major driver for deforestation, especially in Asia and Africa. Deforestation leads to soil erosion. Soil erosion leads to land degradation. Next is restoring degraded land can improve yields and feed millions. But small farm sizes and unequal resource access limit sustainable land management. This is very important. Sustainable land management is very important. The issue is not agriculture. The issue is not following sustainable agriculture. Next is third edition of Maritime Information Sharing Workshop 2025. So this was first held in 2019 and this is the third edition. So it is conducted by Information Fusion Center of Indian Ocean Region. The theme is enhancing real-time coordination and information sharing across Indian Ocean region. So this is to strengthen collaborative frameworks to secure vital global sea lanes, because sea lanes are very important for all the aspects, trade, travel. After globalization has taken place, sea lanes are very important. So you can ask about why not go for airways, why seaways are very important. Water transport is cheapest form of transportation. When we are transporting goods, what happens is water transportation will reduce the cost of production such that the companies or the the global level we talk about, it increases the efficiency. That is why water transportation is very important. So it aligns with India's Mahasahar vision and reinforces IFCIOR's role in building a cohesive, transparent and resilient maritime information ecosystem. Next is second edition of Udyog Bharati. It's a Hindi magazine. It is released by the Minister of State for Heavy Industries. So what is the magazine's objective? What is the aim? It is to reaffirm that ministry's dedication to effective communication and promotion of Hindi as the official language. So it is also in line with Government of India's vision to strengthen the use of Hindi in administration. Next is Maritime Human Capital Session. This is organized by the Global Maritime Innovation Summit. It is organized as a part of this summit. It is held in India's Maritime Week at Bombay Exhibition Center. The theme is Navigating the Future, Building a Modern Maritime Workforce. To develop, since we are talking about human capital, this is talking about human capital in maritime. So a modern, skilled and globally competitive maritime workforce aligned with the nation's rapid growth in shipping, ports and logistics. That's why we are seeing many schemes like Gati Shakti program, and then we have Sagarmala project. So many projects and schemes are related to maritime security and also strengthening the trade ties. So for that, this particular topic is important. We will discuss a prelims question regarding this. Consider the following statement regarding India's Geospatial Data Ecosystem Initiative. The Ministry of Science and Technology is a nodal ministry responsible for overseeing the platform. The initiative includes components such as integrated geospatial application interface for seamless data access and the spatial data registry for metadata management. Both the statements are correct and the answer is both 1 and 2. Yes, Ministry of Science and Technology, not Ministry of Earth Science. Since we see as geospatial, we might end up thinking it's Ministry of Earth Sciences. No, it is Ministry of Science and Technology. We have successfully completed our discussion today. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel so that you get relevant information regarding the current affairs for UPSC. Also like this video, comment your doubts and your mains answer and share this video to your friends. Thank you. Have a nice day.